Ebullient greetings. I'm your host, Jackie Bird of Jackie Bird Spiritual Wellness, your guide to stress and anxiety relief, mindfulness, awareness, self-care, self-love, and personal growth. Welcome and thank you for joining me as we roll with peace in mind. Today's riff is tapping into your inner child. As we enter what we're calling a new normal, remember that this state, as all states are, is transient and not fixed or stable. It will change as all things do. But what is always within you and waiting to engage is your inner child. I remember when I was 9, and especially in my teens, I wanted to be grown so doggone bad. To be grown and do what I wanted to do, not having somebody tell me what to do all the time. I couldn't and still can't stand for somebody telling me what to do. Well, of course, when you're grown, you find out that somebody is always telling you what to do. Being grown does not absolve you from having to follow orders and directives at all. But tell that to me at 14. I just knew being an adult was where it's at. Then I became an adult. Oh boy, it was worse than I could imagine. And before I knew it, I was beset with adult problems and all the adult stuff having to do with being an adult. I bet you may be able to relate at times, eh? It can get pretty tiring and stressful. Talk to any newbie adult. They'll tell you it ain't what they thought it would be. How many times have you felt so overwhelmed by life that you wanted to scream, I want my mommy? Sometimes when I've seen little kids falling out on the ground screaming in full out tantrum mode, I think, I know what you're feeling, kid. I feel your pain. I wish I could get down there on the ground and scream right with you. I had come to a point in life when I wasn't having fun. When I hit 30 and had a nervous breakdown and was knocking on suicide's door to let me in, I wanted out. I was crushed under the weight of what I knew life to be, based upon expectations and suppositions and assumptions that I had and the people around me had. I sure as hell was not having fun. Yeah, I'd laugh hysterically at a joke, at someone being funny, but I was broken. I was done. I was without joy, without enthusiasm. I was going through the motions of being a productive individual, yet through all of this, somebody was absent. Me, in my wholeness, in my adultness, I had turned my back on me. I had let go of the things that made me to be this idea of what me as an adult was. And oh my God, was that a painful existence. In the period emerging out of that nervous breakdown, one day on the set of a soap opera, an observation was made about me that I was totally stunned by. We performers were on break, chit-chatting around, talking smack. At a moment, the choreographer comes over to me and says, I was looking at you wondering what was different. And then it hit me. And I'm like, what? You were laughing. At the moment I thought, damn, what an odd thing to say. Why would my laughing be so odd? I'm always laughing. And as if on cue, the deeper part of me remembered, oh no you don't. You haven't been laughing for an entire year. Crickets. I got no comeback for that. None. Because I realized that I had not been laughing, that I was sleepwalking through my life. I had taken things so seriously to the point that one night, in the wee hours of the morning, I thought to take my own life, my most precious gift. I had serioused myself into a place of total despair, of no hope things would get better. I had walked away from my inner child, the chick who laughed at any and everything, who always saw magic and fairies and glittering stars and invisible friends and had 40 billion questions about the why, who, how of it all, who was always enthralled to learning and exploring and climbing trees and falling out of them, and playing in mud and falling on the ground and skinning her knees to only go back outside running to skin them again, who was absolutely wanting to know everything, who laughed and giggled and who made up stuff and flew around planets and just wanted to play. I had stopped holding her hand. I had stopped looking at life through her eyes because I was now an adult, and adults don't do such things. I had to grow up. I was not a child anymore. Says who? And why listen to that guy? He's no fun. Why do we think to be an adult means not enjoying your life to the fullest? Why do we equate responsibility with being a drab, no fun adult? Unless we got a few drinks in us. Why are we so doggone serious about everything and equate non-adult things with being childish? Why? Because we have bills to pay, make heavy decisions, and in many instances are rearing little adults in training? Why? Because the world's a mess, there are so many problems in the world, and we can single-handedly change them? Bah! That's beeswax. We can still be responsible adults, make the heavy decisions, pay the bills when and if we can, and rear little adults in training while keeping the phone lines on speed dial to our inner children. Send a text, Facebook with them, do Instagram Live and dance on TikTok with them. These inner children are part of us for a reason. If we kept the mobile phone lines open to our inner children, we'd be having a whole lot of more fun. To quote the Dalai Lama, we have 7 billion human beings. Emotionally, mentally, physically are the same. Everyone wants a joyous life, unquote. But since that declaration is not largely the messaging we receive, many of us toil away and suffer in silence, being an adult, until the dam breaks physically and or mentally. Now, I love this quote. I gotta paraphrase it because doggone for the life of me, I can't find out who said it. I think it was the Dalai Lama who said this, but I'm gonna just paraphrase it. Here we go. Imagine if before negotiating, the world leaders sat down to color first, unquote, unparaphrased. And I love that so much. And in my world, they would have crayons, so many crayons of their favorite colors so they wouldn't fight over any shortages. One way to connect to our inner kids is to giggle when you're not supposed to. Years ago, I was a visiting professor in dance at a university out west, and it was not the best of times in the least. It was quite an uncomfortable and frustrating experience for me, and I was nearing the end of the term. It couldn't end fast enough. Great googa mooga. Some of the elite students didn't care for me too much, nor I for them. And in the middle of the rehearsal, one of the final rehearsals, I was stressing to the lead dancer in my piece what I wanted. And I had been telling this woman a billion times, this is how I want her to do this move. And she just either couldn't do it or wouldn't give me what I asked for. In front of 14 dancers and some faculty members sitting out in the audience to watch, I demonstrated the movement and how I wanted it to be done. And in mid-sentence, I end up falling, I don't know how that happened, and sliding halfway across the stage on my rear end, legs frozen in position of what I was showing her to do. Now, you would think I was mortified to fall in front of a bunch of people that didn't like me and who I didn't like. But oh no, inner child came popping up. I started laughing hysterically. I was rolling on the floor, howling. I was truly the LOL for you, and then some. Oh my gosh. I was literally rolling on the floor laughing. Tears run down my face. When I managed to calm down and pick myself up, not one face, not a twitch, not a crack of a smile did I meet. Not one of these young people laughed, not one. Shoot, if that were me and somebody I didn't like had been giving me grief all semester fell and slid, I'd have been howling. But I guess maybe they were worried about their grade. I don't know. But anyway, it's just way too friggin' serious. It was like, oh, come on. I know I had to have looked a hot mess. And at least one of the faculty that was sitting out in the house, the audience, later admitted she laughed, but, undercover like. She couldn't let those stuffy students see her laughing. I wished I had seen her laughing, because I probably still would be laughing. So giggle more, for goodness sakes. Remember what a good giggle can do for you. Remember times you giggled when you weren't supposed to as a child or a young adult. That was your inner child expressing her or himself. I have had some of the best giggles right after crying. And one that comes to mind is when I was really, 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 really broke. I can't pay my rent broke. In the house, all I had were leftover black beans and rice. And I had heated them in the oven. But not listening to my inner guidance, I took the pan out with only one hand. Yep. It bent from the weight and half of the beans and rice spilled out in between the open oven door and onto the oven floor. And twas not a self-cleaning oven. And I began to cry. I started to cry. And then, before I knew it, I was laughing because it was so stupid. It was so stupid. My inner child peeked out and just giggled at the mess before I could stop her. But you know what? Even though the situation seemed like the end of the world at that time, the laughter helped to lighten the load. And though there was mess everywhere, and I mean everywhere, laughing as I cleaned it up really helped my mood. It released my stress and anxiety. Plus, I put them doggone beans right back in the pan and ate them all. And they were good. Inner child strikes again. So laugh more. Find reasons to laugh more. Make up reasons to laugh more. You will feel better, if only for a moment. If you tap your laughing muscles more, you will begin to lighten up a bit about whatever is troubling you. And doing that, there may be even a solution or two staring right at you about something that you're struggling with. Use your imagination more. Not just in whatever it is that you do as an occupation, but in general. Maybe as a child, you used to lay in the grass looking up at the clouds and imagine faces or other shapes morphing into other shapes as the clouds shifted. You can do that now as an adult. It's fun. And yeah, you may feel silly, but does your inner child care? No. Only the stuffy adult mind cares. And this isn't about him or her. This is about you creating more joy in your life and tapping into your inner child. Watching the clouds and seeing shapes, which is really using your imagination in a wonderfully calming, soothing way. It's a great activity. And believe it or not, it is meditating if you do it consciously with deep breathing, deep breath in, slower breath out as you see the clouds shift, and really let your mind go. Let it leap, run, and skip through your imagination. Make all kinds of shapes. What's that you say? It takes a luxury of time that you don't have? Well, make the time. There should be no luxury that's too rich for you. You deserve the best. And this is about your self-care. This is about your mental health. This is about your wellness. And this is free. So even if you feel silly, do it. Do it. You don't have to lay in the grass if you don't want to. Standing or sitting will work just as well. Don't judge, just do. Make up stories in your head, visualizing, daydreaming. See and create the things you want in your mind for yourself. Remember when you were a kid, you would declare what you wanted, when you wanted or would be when you grew up, like every 5 minutes you would declare it. Well, dreaming does not have a time limit. That's only an edict made by stuffy adults. Let that rule go. It doesn't serve anybody. Take 5 minutes to visualize what you want in your life. Create big. See yourself fulfilling your wildest dreams. When I realized during a rough life patch that I had stopped dreaming, I knew I had to fix that. Dream, people, dream big. Your inner child does not understand no. Dream big. And when children are out playing, have you ever seen them spinning around in one direction continuously? They do it naturally. That is called whirling, and it is an active meditation practice of the Sufi. You may have heard of the whirling dervishes, and an explanation I found says, whirling reminds and informs the body to find its center, polish the heart, and find balance and alignment. End quote. Children seem to handle whirling with ease and will keep on doing it continuously. You may get dizzy watching them, but they just go round and round and round, a lot of times to the left. As an adult, it may make you a bit dizzy, but one way to circumnavigate this is to hold your arm out with the focus on your thumb, held upright to give you a point of reference. So you hold your arm out in front of you at shoulder length, shoulder level, and you look at that thumb pointing upward. And this being a point of reference, it helps to minimize, or maybe in some cases, prevent the dizziness. As a practice, you would want to start with a few revolutions or even maybe just one. And each time you begin, you add another round, building up slowly, stopping to reorient yourself in between rounds. It is truly exhilarating once you get the hang of it. I got the urge to do it one day in the park, and an adult decided to join along. How cool was that, man? It was fun. We got a good laugh out of it. Hey, other thing, make silly faces at yourself in the mirror. It's fun. Don't judge, just do. Life is to be enjoyed. Yes, there are horrible things going on in the world, but you can't make that the focus of your life. You can't spend your whole day worrying about things that are not working. It robs you of your life force. Always focusing on the negative, it truly lowers your vibration. Give yourself a break. Be silly. And it's great when you have young children, they make that happen, you being silly and having moments. But do it for yourself, away from the children. Don't have the children be the reason that you do it. Do it for yourself. Do it to connect to your inner child. Another thing, watch ridiculously stupid movies. Sure, you may thumb your nose at them, but watch them every once in a while. Sat down and watched the Johnny English movie starring Rowan Atkinson being. Laughed myself delirious. And the sillier the movie got, and boy does it get sillier, the harder I laughed. Tears were streaming down my face. I was laughing so hard. My dude, on the other hand, fell asleep. But he'd periodically awaken, and he was chuckling more at me laughing at the movie than at the movie itself. Oh boy, but it felt so good to have that belly laugh for no reason, to be so carefree. That's what small children have. Now that is an express train to the inner child. Watching ridiculously silly movies make you laugh for the most illogical of reasons. And we, the very serious adults, need some frivolity in our lives. Not everything needs to make sense. Skip! Do you realize how many adults can't skip? Can you skip? See if you can. One of the many things I have learned teaching dance, and it's sad and amazing how we lose touch with the simple things we enjoyed so much as children. Tapping into your inner child is key. Find out if you can skip, and if you can skip, go skip down the street. People gonna look at you strange, so what? They're not having fun, you are. Color. Yep. Get some coloring pages for adults and let it rip. Well, not the paper. You on the pages with the coloring tools you choose. Let it rip. Be spontaneous, especially if you're a notorious do-it-by-the-book planner. Shake it up. Break protocol. Sing some songs from childhood. Whether you can sing or not, man, you certainly didn't care about that as a child. Hum 'em, sing 'em, mix it up. Again, you may feel absolutely stupid, but do it anyway. Recall some of those songs you sang as a child. When you remove the judgment, it's fun. And if you really want to go for it, play some childhood games, but do it as if you were a child. With family or solo, no rules apply. You may feel silly. That's the point. Don't worry about it. feel silly, but you will have fun. It will leave you with an exhilarating feeling if you can get past the judgment of it. Dance. Dance is life. Put some music on and dance like nobody's watching. And if they are, focus on what you're doing and not on their comments or faces. They'll be jealous if they're over there judging you. Pay them no mind. Many of you have small children, and they are perhaps helping you to rediscover life from a child's eyes as they take it all in and discover. For them, everything is new, and they meet it with wonder and joy. Being an adult takes so much of our joy away by how we've learned to see things with a jaundiced eye. Take note from these small beings and see how you can incorporate the freeness and the freedom of being into your own lives. Remember that stress depletes you of your well-being. Make play dates with your inner child more. The well of inspiration, fun, creativity, and joy within you. My services and products are available to assist. They are stress and anxiety relief and mindfulness tools you can use to remind you to tap within. Go to JackieBirdSpiritualWellness.com. All of these suggestions are meant to push you out of your comfort zone in a non-adult stuffy way. Yes, we are going through the most uncertain and difficult of days in the time of coronavirus. But all is not lost, and we have an opportunity to create a new world, one with more equality, civility, and humanity. I know it may not look like it. We are truly hanging in the balance, but we can make different and better choices that serve the greater good. The future is in our hands, and we are being shoved into thinking and creating anew in our present time. Be the peace you wish to see. Walk lighter. Try not to let things eat at you, sit in your being and fester. Kids can have a fight one moment and play with each other the next as if nothing happened. Let stuff go. If you can't change it or negotiate with it, let that puppy go. And now I will lead you into a guided meditation. Find a comfortable position of your choice, either standing or lying down. Take a moment to feel yourself in the space. Be aware of the rise and fall of your chest as you breathe. Be aware of your feet, if they are planted on the ground, if you are seated, or on the surface on which you are lying down on, as your knees are bent and your feet are planted firmly. Feel your spine long. Breathe in deeply here on 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhaling in the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once more. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Continue this pattern on your own time, breathing in deeply, feeling your body expand, and on each out breath, feel yourself emptying out. Continue breathing in deeply taking in as much air as you can on each exhalation, letting the air leave you very slowly. Now breathe easily when you have finished the cycle of in deep and out deep, breathing on your own time. Picture yourself sitting in a place that is very calming and soothing to you. Maybe it's at your favorite vacation spot, or a place you would like to go, and you see it very calming and soothing and quiet. As you are sitting in this spot, someone very familiar is walking toward you. Someone you may not have had a conversation with recently. As this person is walking toward you, you recognize your younger self, yourself as a child, at your favorite age, and they are walking toward you, and they want to take your hand. Take the hand of yourself as a child and smile as they are smiling at you and reminding you to have more joy, to create it in any way that you can, to create more fun and fun moments in any way you can. You stand now holding the hand of you as a child, and you begin to walk together. Breathing in deeply, breathing out deeper, filling yourself up with joy and fun, remembering joy and fun. If you wish to go deeper, I invite you to visit JackieBirdSpiritualWellness.com for more stress relief and mindfulness tools. There's StressBusters Guided Meditation. You can book an online session. There are ebooks called 7 Daily Thoughts and Mantras for Mindfulness, stress relief tools, mantras, affirmations, and guided meditation. There is meditation music and guided meditation tracks. Again, that is JackieBirdSpiritualWellness.com. Thank you so much for listening.